Okay, and we're live.
Yay! Okay, I'm so excited to do this call, and we only have a short bit, so I'm gonna just dive in. But before I dive in, if you are on here and want to just ask questions right away, and then I'll come back to them at the end. But literally anything you have on your heart, on your mind for this business, maybe you're struggling with something, maybe you're not sure what to do about something, pop in a question or something, situation, example in the chat box, and I will tackle those at the end. Or if as I'm talking, something comes up, just drop it in the chat box and I will try not to get distracted with it during the talk. And then I'll just try to leave some time for that at the end. But Kiana wanted me to hop on and just kind of share with you guys a different maybe way that you are used to seeing, or maybe that you've approached as to how to share the business in maybe a more simpler way. When Kiana came to me, I was just like, oh my gosh, I felt so flattered that she enjoyed how I shared the business, because I think it's something that I personally was like, am I doing this right? Am I sharing enough? I feel in these businesses sometimes we can have such a huge imposter syndrome where we feel like maybe we're not doing enough, or we're not doing it the right way because we're not getting VIPs or MPs fast enough, like so and so. So, what am I doing wrong? Right. And I think that all of those questions are a valid, fair thing to reflect on our business. But also, I don't want you guys to lose sight of why you're doing this business, because it can be so different for each of us. And even when we watch our leaders and we want to be there, we get so caught up in the want that we forget about the present and what brought us here right now. So I'm just going to kind of go back to my notes because I just kind of wrote a few things down, but I just kind of started off with writing down. Oftentimes we can get distracted by the shiny objects. I actually did a reel on this today. As I was writing my notes, I was just kind of reflecting and I was like, you know what, this is very like true. I feel in my walk. I come from another network marketing company. I was with them for 7 years. And so I have a heart and soul for network marketing. Um, but it's so easily, we so easily get distracted by the shiny objects, the trips that we can earn. With Monat, the car that we can earn, like so many different things, the bonuses, right? If you are in your Smart Start, that is a beautiful place to be. And I'm so excited that you're there because it is a bonus potential that you can capitalize on. And it's incredible on top of your commissions. But going back to we oftentimes get distracted by the shiny objects. So and so joined Monat and was able to invest in all of these real estates. And we just like, we share, we share, we reshare, we reshare, we reshare to hopefully inspire somebody to join our business. But in the meantime, we forget about maybe the little things that might relate to your people that are watching a little bit more, right? Sure, once we get in this business and we get a part of the team and a part of the community, and we're like, oh my gosh, so and so did this and got this, like that's so inspiring. That can be me, right? But when we're not in the business, AKA your potential, your followers, the people that are watching you, they don't understand that that's like, to them, they're like, yeah, not very many people get that though. So why would I join the business? Right. Like it can be inspiring for some, but that some is probably like 1 to 2%. Right. And how often are you sharing it? And how often are you catching their eye? So what I go back to is sharing the little things, sharing the little things that may be more realistic for the majority of the people watching your stories, watching your page, watching what you're doing. I feel hold on, I'm going back to my notes so I don't skip anything. Okay. Don't, so my next section is don't lose sight of the authenticity of what this business means. And I'm going to break it down into three things: what it means to you and your family, what it means for you and your family, and what it means for your future, right? I think the future is what lies, those big shiny objects. But when we like take a step back and be like, okay, why did we start this? well, so and so shared that it's been helping out with her gas every week. Yes, gas prices are huge right now, right? At least where I'm from. I know we're from all over, but where I'm from, they're rising again. And it's like, ugh, right? It stinks. And it is what it is. But at the same point, if somebody was able to have an extra $50 from this little side gig of sharing shampoo with their friends and family, um, that $50 just paid for their tank of gas for the week. Like that's huge to me. To some people, it might not be because to some people, they might be so distracted by the shiny objects that $50 is nothing, right? But no, that is so huge for you to contribute $50 to your household right now that you didn't have the opportunity for before. That's incredible. It comes down to that. For me, I always broke it down as like I was stay-at-home mom. So these things I always sat down and like, okay, something I like got super insecure about when I became a stay-at-home mom. I've always been taught to like work and like provide for my household. I was a teen mom, like I had to like go right into the workforce. Um, and so to take a step back and not provide financially for my home, like physically, was really hard for me. I struggled with that a lot. And so when I started to make money with network marketing, I had to like, okay, this amount, like it's $32, but you know what? $32, that's our garbage bill for 2 months. Like that's so exciting to me. Like I had to start breaking it down. Like $32 isn't a lot, right? Like you think you're like $32, okay, cool, for all the work you did, but that's $32 that I get to put into a bill for our family. Like we need our garbage to be taken out and taken by the garbage people. Like that's just it's a necessity here. So to be able to cover that with this opportunity that I might not have said yes to, which I told 5 people no, right? And like it's just it's beautiful. And then when I started to make a little bit more, it was like, wow, I was paying for my garbage, but now I'm paying for my garbage and my internet bill. Like that's incredible. I I just am now paying for two household bills. This to me as a stay-at-home mom, that was really important for whatever reason. I know like people tell you like, well, you are saving your household money, you're saving on childcare, and you're saving on this, and you get to raise your babies. Yes, but it didn't take away from how I was raised and what I was supposed to do and wanting to provide financially, right? And so being able to have the best of both worlds was a huge blessing. Okay. And so when we share that, I get goosebumps talking about it. When we share that with our following, right? And we break it down, like, I can't believe that this $32 paycheck paid for our garbage bill, our gas bill, our water bill, like you name whatever bill you have, like break your bills down and think like every week, whatever you get paid, even if it's $10. Did you get coffee this week at a coffee stand? There you go. Money paid for your two coffees this week, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But when you can relate to, I feel like that is more relatable to your potentials because your potentials, them investing or them getting that car or them earning those trips, like, yes, we have to dive into that once they become a part of our team, right? But to just see that is sometimes overwhelming. And then they're like, well, this isn't for me because I could never do that. And then they won't even do it, right? We scare them away with the shiny objects because the shiny objects are so great, but they don't understand like how simple it can be to get there, even though it is hard work, right? But also the little things that this does provide. Like who for me, I mean, this is just how I am. For me, I don't want the car. Now, if I were to earn the car, you better believe I'm gonna be like, heck yeah, sharing the heck out of it, right? But that's not an incentive for me. Like I just don't connect to that. And maybe because I just got a new car a couple years ago, I'm comfortable with what we had. Like I don't, it's not a thing that I want or need or drive for, right? Now the trips, I like them, but also sometimes like the Bahamas one scares me a little bit because I'm like, I don't want to leave my babies. And honestly, I don't want to take them with me either. I don't know. Like, so it's just finding the authenticity in this business for you, and there's no wrong or right path. Now, Are we to be challenged in our business? Absolutely. Like if you want something more, like you're going to have to work for that, right? You're going to have to get out there and make yourself uncomfortable and talk to people and host watch parties. Or, I mean, there's so many different things that go into this business, but also I am a firm believer that whatever works for you is going to work for you, but you have to do it consistently. You have to show up consistently. You have to relate to your people. Your people aren't Kiana's people. Your people aren't Ivy's people. Your people aren't Chelsea's people, right? Like we, your people will literally navigate to you. And if you don't consistently share, your people will eventually find somebody because the one person is going to reach out to them, hands down, right? Like we all know this. We all know that there's going to be a Monate box on your next door neighbor's doorstep. And is it going to be you? Right? I mean, that's uncomfortable. I don't want to go talk to my neighbor to get money for me. I'm sorry, I don't. But maybe one day I'll get uncomfortable and that will be a thing, you know? So um let me read my notes again. Yeah, all I said was what are the small things right now that it is providing for you? So if you have a notebook, I would love for you to think about, I don't know how many paychecks you guys have had thus far, right? Like we just had payday on Friday. If you got paid on Friday, how much was it? Okay. And then think about what that paid for. Was it a chunk of your childcare for the week or month? Was it your gas for the week? Was it a portion of groceries? Were you able to get different groceries that you don't usually get because you have this extra money? Um, is it certain bills, water bill, internet bill, TV, all these luxurious things that we have, right? Like we have a house over our head. Like, is it part of that? Is it getting you out of debt? Like every little bit counts, right? Is it you able to start a savings account for you or your children, right? Like there's just little things that this can go towards. I shared a quote earlier from Dave Ramsey, and it was like, if you put $100, if you invest $100, let me find it. I don't want to butcher it. But it's so true. And investments is like a whole other topic, but it said $100 a month invested from age 25 to 65 is $1,176,000. You do not have to retire broke. And that's just insane, right? Like that's just insane to think about. And investments is a whole other topic, but like if you were able to make $100, $200, okay, let's just say you made $200 every single month with money. What could investing $100 every single month do for your future? And then the other $100, what could that do for your household, you right now? Is it your groceries? Is it your gas? Is it, I mean, break it down into those little things because I personally find that super rewarding to know like it's providing for me right now. Like, yes, it'll provide for that soon to be car or house or rental property, or I don't even know what your goals are, right? But you have to start somewhere. We have to start somewhere. And I don't know where you're at in your business, those of you that are watching this, because you may be super, super advanced in your business and you're like, well, yeah, I'm already here. And that's super great, right? But the people watching you are not. And so, how are you going to share with them to be relatable in your way, right? To want them to get where you are, you know? So, do you guys have any questions? That's all I have. I think the moral of the story is to authentically remain and why you joined this business and what it's doing for you right now. And just can consistently share that. Consistently share what each little bit is doing for your home right now. If you guys have questions, you can either like unmute yourself and ask or pop it in the chat group or the chat section. I can answer anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to pull up the the chat without it going on your face.
You're fine.
Again with my technology.
I have mine open so I can view if anybody like says anything. But hi Shannon, hi Lauren, hi Desiree.
trying
Let's snap a picture.
gotta do the pictures.
I know. Okay. Oh gosh, I love you so much. That's so sweet, Desiree.
Perfect.
Desiree got her first VIP.
Yay! That's so exciting. Perfect.
Every little bit counts, right?
Yes, for sure. Every little bit counts. Okay. I'm trying to see if anybody else has questions.
Um, yeah. I mean, Kiana, you can just like if there's anything else that you want me to touch on, or I don't know.
No, I think that was good. I think
Kind of just like a hype sesh.
yeah, seriously.
Get out
Yeah,
there.
I think it was. It was just every time you speak on like the little things or just like the simplicity of sharing the business. Excuse me.
Mhm.
I feel like it just every time I see your stories, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good.
Oh,
And
and
I
that
try
means
to
so
like,
much because sometimes I'm just like I question it. I think too, like, because I don't know how many like our stay-home moms or work out of the home. And just to touch on for the moms that like work out of the home, because at times I do, I sub in the school districts and business can get hard when you're gone a lot, right? And so find those pockets of time throughout your day. A lot of the times for me, it was in the morning, I'd share, or I just create videos, like create videos of me doing my hair really fast. I wouldn't post it right then necessarily, but you could like have time to like create little bits of content to share. So then like on your lunch break or right after work, like get in your car and before you drive away, like post something with content that you've created throughout the days. And then yeah, like those were my work tips. Um,
Lauren asked, oh,
yeah.
she put it in the chat.
Oh,
She direct
okay.
messaged me, but then
Got
put
it.
it in the chat. Yes, being relatable to the potential.
Relatable to potentials. Yeah. I think sometimes it's just really huge because I myself will get distracted sometimes of sharing like this girl got a Cadillac, this girl got a Cadillac, this girl got a house, this girl built and in all honesty, like I am inspired by that, but also we have to take a step back and think about what our people are watching and can they relate to that or not yet? Right? Like once you get in the business and you start seeing like these girls are actually like working really hard and earning this, like then it becomes a reality. But when you're not in it yet and you are it's overwhelming and I feel it makes others feel like that's too good to be true. That's not for me. I could never do that. And I relate to that because I feel that way at times, like I could never work that hard to get that way. So I think just relating to your people of what it's doing for you, because then they're going to be like, oh, it's that simple. Or, oh, well, I mean, that's kind of cool,
Yeah.
And so I think too, like the beautiful thing with money in that is that they don't charge a monthly fee. They don't charge us, they don't make us buy products. So like we don't have to start our month in the red to hopefully then earn anything. Right. And so like we have the opportunity to always make something, of course, after we earn our investment in our products that we order for ourselves with like our product pack and stuff. But it's just really cool to utilize that as well as a selling point. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Somebody, I don't remember who asked me this, but what is your biggest advice on getting your investment back right away? Not right away, but like as soon as possible if they're ending their smart start soon and
Yeah.
want to, make that
Yeah,
investment back and more, obviously.
for sure. So I think when I first started the business, I told 5 people no to this business for years. And when I first started it, I told my upline, who is Tiffany, I'm not gonna like sell this like crazy. I'm only gonna do the wellness side because I'm a wellness coach, like all of this stuff. And then I was using the hair product and I really liked the hair product for like 8 months before using that. Like I had fallen in love with it. And so I decided, I told her, I was like, I am going to talk about like what I don't like and what I do like about this company because I want people to know that like I'm not just going to rainbows and butterflies every single product up, because honestly, like I don't like every single product. I don't like how the greens taste. I will drink them, but I think that they're chalky and gross. It's just my thing, and I'm going to tell my people that. And I mean, sure, am I going to like, I don't know, lose a cell there? Yeah, probably. But I'd rather be honest and share how I feel about the product, um, so that my people trust me. So, and then it just comes down to consistency, consistently sharing, because here's the reason why you will hear over and over and over again to share consistently. People are always on their phone, but they are not always intentionally on their phone, right? They're on their stories. You can probably like know this about yourself. I know this about myself. You will watch stories, but like you're not really watching. You're just kind of like tap, 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 and you're missing. But then there's that one day that you're like, oh, I want to catch up on her. So then you sit and watch all 15 minutes of it, right? And so it's the same for your followers. So like if you're sharing on Monday, but then not again until Friday, right? Like that person chose Wednesday to sit and watch your story for 15 minutes and you didn't share about it because you chose Monday and Friday, and you missed an opportunity on Wednesday because that was her open day to watch your stuff. So that's where like sharing authentically, consistently throughout every day of the week, even if it's just like one little thing. Um, we're not all perfect at this. I struggle with this very much so. But that is why like you'll hear that, because it's so true. Like I mean, Amanda might be watching me every single day, but on Wednesday is the only day that she actually intentionally watched my content. And if I shared something, then she'd be like, hey, tell me about this purifying vinegar shampoo that you used. I just saw it. Like, what the heck is it? Right? If I didn't talk about products throughout, like I probably would have missed that, and she would have watched it on somebody else on Wednesday and signed up with that. So, um, yeah, if you're at the end of your Smart Start, start sharing consistently, start sharing, um, dependent on if you need more VIPs or MPs, really start talking about, if you need VIPs, the products, how amazing, how much you're loving. Pick something that you're using in your system and start talking about what you've been using, right? They might not know what the Renew shampoo is, but like I've been using the Renew shampoo, the smoothing conditioner, and the Rejuva beads. My hair has never felt better. This is why. I really didn't like the damaged leave-in cream. It was too heavy for my hair, but I really loved the Restore. It was super lightweight. So if you need hydration, let me know, because we have two options. One I don't care for, but it might be for you. Just talking about products in a way that, Kiana, you're really good at this. I love how you share about product. Your knowledge is awesome. I just look up like, how do I talk about products? I always get scared I'm going to say the wrong thing. But sometimes when I get scared about saying the wrong thing, I will just touch on it a little bit vocally in my story, but then I'll put up a picture, like I'll screenshot from the product description, so that even if I messed up vocally, like here's the actual detail, like they kind of coincide. So anyways, that's what I would do if you need more VIPs. If you need MPs, I would start talking about, if you haven't made a paycheck yet, pretend you made a $30 paycheck. Okay. $30 is simple, right? Like you'll make that in the next VIP or two. But pretend you made $30 paycheck, and you can just talk about like, I cannot believe like $30 seems so little to everybody, but it is really fulfilling my cup right now because it is able to pay for X bill, right? And start sharing that, and then share a follow-up like network marketing quote, or like something that can be relating to your day and how you fit in this in your day and why you chose to join. Write a little blip of that, create a highlight in your page and direct them to go look at the highlight of like why you joined Money. Yeah. That helpful?
Yeah, I think that's super helpful. Perfect. Well, anybody else has any other questions, you can pop them in the chat. Let me see. Okay. Perfect. Well, we will make sure to save this recording so that you can go back and watch it. But I wanted to say thank you, Brittany, for hopping on here with us and joining us
Yes,
for our monthly call.
of course.
So fun
Thank
to chat with you.
you.
Yes. All right, we will definitely have to do one of these soon, but anyways,
Absolutely.
I will let you get going, but thank you so much and
Thanks
hope you
for
have
having
a
me. Thanks for listening in, ladies.
All right, bye.